Good morning, you local crazies. Hope you're all having a good time. It's Saturday morning, May 24th in 2025. Hope you're all having a good time and hope you have a good start to your weekend. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Department of BS from the beaches of lovely Long Island, New York. My name is no longer Staniel Smooth. I know. It's a shame. It's a dang shame.
What you have done has made God very unhappy.
So, I will address that. You will also notice for those watching on YouTube, there's a background around here. It's a new background, new logo, sort of. For those who have followed the show for a long time will know that this was the original logo of this podcast. It has now been reverted back to the original logo. Also, my name has changed. It is no longer Staniel Smooth, as I addressed before. But I will also say, it may also be for the better. It may also be for the better, guys. Because as much as I would love to keep the name Staniel Smooth, the more I thought about it, the more I was like, nah, this is very high school-like. And I could try to find excuses to keep the name, and stuff like that. Well, the Twitter handle is the same, the Instagram handle is the same, nothing has changed besides that. I will start to, however, lay off the swearing a lot, which, as a blue-collar New Yorker, it's going to be hard to do. I will admit that. I will also admit that I am sort of resistant to change. However, when I see the beneficial of said change, I'm all for it. And this is one of those things where I'm all for it. Sometimes things can change, even when you don't want to. But when they need to change, it'll be fine. So yes, the Staniel Smooth character has been retired. Now just Dan Cruz, no big deal. That's just me. And who I am is not going to change. The actual character, the name of said character, will be dead and buried, as some would call it. So, nothing crazy. So I will also address that, May is Mental Health Awareness Month and stuff like that. And I have been a big proprietor of the whole mental health thing. Whatever you want to call it. Do some things that make you happy. If people don't like it, screw them. That's what I would say. But at the same point, your health, whether it's emotional, mental, physical, or whatever, is like a car. When something doesn't work right, you fix it. That could be like, oh, you want to lose weight, go start going for walks, start going to Planet Fitness. That's cheap as hell to get into. $10 a month to start, 25 for the black card. Or is it 30? I don't know. But you want to start feeling better, like, mentally speaking, go do some stuff you like to do. In my case, it's this. It's also gaming. It could also be the gym. It could be crocheting for all I care. But as I said before, when something doesn't work right or when something needs fixing, go fix it. Oh, I want to feel better. I want to feel better mentally. Oh, I want to feel better physically. Go do something about it. Go do something about it, kids. It's not just going to change. It even works from the financial world. Oh, I want to, be in a better spot financially. Okay, do something about it. Go do something about it. Oh, it's hard. It's hard. Yeah. Life is hard. No one said life was easy. But you know what? You work your way around it, and when you work with what you got. You work with what you got. That is some life-changing advice that I have received many, many years ago. I say many, many years ago, it's like I'm a fossil when I'm not. Which is kind of funny, but regardless. You want something to change, go and change it. That's all I can say. We now go from the world of mental health to the world of sports. So, the Toronto Maple Leafs lost in the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs in 7 games to the Florida Panthers. And there's a lot of questions whether or not you can, put the blame on someone in Toronto. Now, to give a perfect example of what Toronto sports media is like, the Yankees here in New York. That is as close as you're going to get to how rabid that media is. Rabid. Fans are not happy. Fans are not happy, and they want change. They got something. Brandon Shanahan is no longer the president of hockey operations for the Maple Leafs. And there's a couple big free agents that could or could not leave. One of them happens to be Mitch Marner. Mitch Marner is, 28 years old? Something like that? He's young. He is young, and he is the top free agent on the board. By far. From a statistical perspective, it is very hard if you're Toronto to replace a guy who averages 80 to 90 points a season. He almost dang near averages that mark. Now, they also, being the Toronto Maple Leafs organization, botched his contract negotiations. Botched him. They made Mitch Marner seem like a petty little brat. But what he's actually trying to do is, hey, I want to sign my contract. And he and his team got what they wanted. They got what they wanted. But at what cost? Now, I will also point this out here. The Toronto media has not done Mitch Marner any favor. Mitch Marner, when he was first in Toronto, was this happy-go-lucky, Care Bear looking, SOB. Which is awesome. It's great for him. But he has since turned into petty, down, and it's sort of like, I just don't want to be here type of energy. I just don't want to be here. And this kind of seems like a weird relationship situation when you're in a bad situation with someone, where it's kind of the best thing you could do for both parties is to leave. You're not happy? Try your best to fix it, or leave. This is where it could lead to if you're Mitch Marner. This is one of those situations where you can look at Mitch Marner directly in the face and go, "Hey, dude, you deserve better." It's like, one of those, you and your girlfriends are just like, "Girlfriend, you deserve better. Go do something about it. Leave your mans and go get a new mans." It's one of those, like, whether it's in San Jose, Los Angeles, hell, a certain team in New York. I can't snap. There you go. Whatever. It works. And Marner would benefit big time if he just left. And that's where everything's going to go. But the most Leafs thing they could do is re-sign Mitch Marner to an 8-year, $10 million per year deal. Which you never know, it could happen. I will also address a former New York Islander. The former captain of the Islanders, the former captain of the Leafs also. John Tavares. 7 years, 2 playoff series wins, multiple points, hundreds of points or whatever the hell, a couple hundred goals with Toronto, and he's all likelihood leaving the Maple Leafs. There's already some Islander fans that want him back. Good try. 91's retired by Bush Goring. I think that was pettiness to the highest order by the Islanders. When Tavares left, they retired Butch Goring's number. That was funny. That was pretty funny to me. Here's the thing with Tavares. I think Tavares is more likely to leave faster than Mitch Marner. I think the contract negotiations for Mitch Marner are going to take a little bit, but Tavares is probably going to leave. Dude's 30, 34, 30, 35. Something like he's in his mid-30s. He's not going to get a big-time contract the way he thinks he's going to get it. He's not. He's still a really good center, but he's nowhere near the level where he was early on in Toronto with the Islanders. But it's hard to say. It's hard to say whether or not he stays or he goes. But or better yet, it's hard to say what he's going to get in free agency. It's very hard to get. And this is one of those situations where, if you're the Maple Leaf fan base, you're like, well, John, good to have you here. See ya. Don't want to be ya. My hands are huge. I just went to go pick up my cup of coffee. They are giant. I like gorilla hands, essentially. So we're going to take a quick break. Get some ads. No big deal. And we'll continue with the rest of the program. So with that being said, let's go pay some bills. Because this show ain't free. Be right back. This show ain't free, so time for some ads.
Righteous Felon Craft Jerky is the official jerky of Belly Up Sports. For over a decade, Righteous Felon Craft Jerky has led the American meat snack revolution by concocting delicious, adventurous, U.S.-sourced jerky recipes for uncompromising carnivores across the country. With 15 different flavors to choose from, Righteous Felon has all jerky lovers covered, and by using promo code BELLYUP, you will get 15% off your purchase at RighteousFelon.com. Do your taste buds a favor today and rip into a bag of Righteous Felon jerky.
That is right, ladies and gentlemen. Use the promo code BELLYUP in all caps for 15% off your order for various jerky flavors at RighteousFelonBeefJerky.com. They've been good friends of the show, good friends of the network. So that being said, go take care of them like they're taking care of us. Code BELLYUP in all caps, 15% off your order at RighteousFelon.com. Juan Soto. Juan Soto is in a bit of a slump to start his career with the Mets. Oh, it's only been 2 months. It's only been 2 months, whatever. Things have not been great for Juan Soto. They really haven't been, which is not particularly great. Now, I will also say, in 50 games played, in 182 at-bats, he's got 43 hits, 8 home runs, 21 RBIs. But statistically, he's doing okay. Statistically, he's doing fine. But he's a $50 million per year DH. I'll get to that. Juan Soto has shown lack of hustle. He has shown, lack of, hey, pride and willing to play this game of baseball. Especially for the Mets, good lord. And Yankee fans over there are saying, like, oh, we told you, we told you, we told you. It's not like they were glad to have Juan Soto on your team. I was a Yankee fan. I was a fan of this team. Over the last several years, I have gone up and down and up and down and back and forth in my love for the Yankees. I have been keeping track of the Seattle Mariners. Why? Because I can. But back to Soto. What is it? What is it? What is it that is making Juan Soto so hated? He's not hustling. He's not running to the plate. He's not the greatest base runner in the world. He's not the best fielder in the world. But God, that man can hit a baseball. And I think that's what you're paying for, which is, hey, you're paying for this guy to mash 40 home runs and like 90 RBIs or something like 90 or 100 something RBIs. You're paying for a great bat, which move him to DH. Move him to your, he's a $50 million a year DH. And you know what? That's what he's worth, which sucks to say, but it is the truth. He is a $50 million a year DH, and people are shocked when it's like, oh, he can't field right. He doesn't field great. He doesn't run the bases that well. It's like, whatever. He's a DH. Big whoop. And Met fans are losing their minds of like, oh, well, the Yankee fans. I'm like, you guys live in each other's heads rent free for the rest of your lives. It's a shame. It's a dang shame. Oh boy. So, over on the hockey decision, the New York Islanders have hired a new GM. I'm very excited about that. Very excited about that. From an Islander fan perspective, this was my top target. Matthew Darche, assistant GM of the Tampa Bay Lightning, who helped deal with their cap situation over in Tampa. And their farm system has been incredible over in Tampa Bay, which technically is in Syracuse, but whatever. Do what you want with this information. Darche was the top choice from the get-go, and Islander fans were like, oh, the players can wear beards now. They can grow beards and express themselves. I'm like, okay. Is he qualified for the job? Yeah, he is. He's qualified for the job. But what? That's my cat. I am not willing to say, oh, this was a slam dunk hire until, say, September. Give it 4 months. See what they do. Because free agency starts in the summer, like early July. July 1st, I think it is. And then the draft is coming up. The Islanders hold the first pick. Do they go after, Matthew Schaefer, Michael Mesa, James Higgins? Who do they go after? It is hard to say. It is very hard to say. But I think depending, not even depending, but more in this retrospect of you do what is best for the team. Is that Higgins or is it Schaefer? I think it's coming down to those two. But I think in the free agency department, I'm very curious to see how Darche pulls his cards. I'm very curious to see what he does. Now, let's also be real here. I am only a fan. I am no expert on my love of this team. I am no expert. I will, however, say that the tenure of Lou Lamoriello was something I was grateful for. Very grateful for. Because he brought stability and respect back to this club, which I have, as a fan, have been desperately craving for a majority of my life. And they have it. Now, will Darsh do a good job? Hard to say because the brother was just hired. In the wrestling front, I will also, give credit where credit is due to AEW. I do not watch AEW a whole lot, but when I do, it's always been like, Chris Jericho, Mercedes, get off my TV. Young Bucks, get off my TV. You don't interest me. Jon Moxley, I will repeatedly say it from the top of the mountaintop that if Jon Moxley were around during 90s ECW, he would have thrived. He's perfect for ECW. Oh, he was perfect for ECW. Is the proper grammar here. Because grammar is key. AEW is finally starting to run smaller shows in smaller venues. They're running from the Hammerstein Ballroom, a couple places in Chicago, Florida, Daly's Place, and Jacksonville. They're running smaller venues, which for the long run is good for the company. I have been very critical of AEW, but I'm also not a wrestling expert. I am just a fan. So I don't know how the business works from internally speaking. However, I will also point out and say AEW does deserve their criticism, but they also deserve their props. I will have repeatedly said that I can give AEW credit for CM Punk coming back, Cody Rhodes finding his aura again and leaving the company, building MJF into a star, building Jamie Hayter into a star, building Julia Hart into a star. But then they're also pulling the WCW route where they're hiring all these ex-WWF, WWE guys to be top stars. Chris Jericho. And not work out. Chris Jericho. But at the same point, they're trying to do good stuff. Sometimes, most of the time it doesn't work, but, it is what it is. I'm more excited to see from the booking perspective, from the building of the show perspective, how everything works out. Tony Khan also wears way too many hats. That is good coffee. Tony Khan consistently wears too many hats as the general manager, the CEO, and the head of creative of AEW. Which is a recipe for disaster. Because, listen, burnout is real. I think we can all agree with that here. If you're at that point of burning out, wherever you work, you need to take some time off. Whether it's you go in, lighten the load, loosen up, or just go on vacation. Make Chris Jericho the lead booker. Actually, bad idea. But from a positive perspective here, they're running smaller venues, which is good. Which is really good. It's almost like you should become TNA, where TNA is running these smaller venues as the Impact Zone. They're running Universal Orlando Studios. They're running, the Hammerstein Ballroom here in New York. They're running the 2300 Arena in Philadelphia. They're running the Aragon in Chicago. They're running all these small venues like Los Angeles, Texas. Like, they're running these small venues. And it's, long-term speaking, good for that company. It really is. Now, in the baseball world, I'm very curious to ask you this question. How wide of a gap or how wide open? I'm reading two different topics here. How wide open is the American League? As it currently stands over Major League Baseball, the Yankees and Blue Jays currently own the top two records in the American League East. It's Detroit and everyone else in the Central. Okay, the gap's not that bad, but it's still Detroit's playing really well over in the Central, which is good because the Tigers fan base has been craving for good teams. And then the West, it's Seattle, Houston, Angels. All right, this clearly shows how much I've been paying attention to baseball. But overall, like in the top 3 or 4 teams, like the league is wide open. Wide open. You know, the Mariners are good to inconsistent. Then there's Houston, which is the experience factor. The Yankees are the Yankees. And the Tigers are on the way up, going up. Which Detroit's one of those cities where, like, if their teams are good, then, you know, that's good for the sport. The Tigers are that example where it's like, oh, the Tigers have been around for long enough to where if they're good, it's noticeable. The Mariners, same thing. Now, this is also, you know, an example of the Mariners of, like, crappy ownership or whatever, because the Mariners are one of those teams that should have been better over the last quarter century, but haven't been, which is a shame. But it's good that they're starting to do better now with Dan Wilson leading the charge as their manager, which is nice to see. The Yankees are very top heavy, and that's it. It's Aaron Judge, and that's it. Garrett Cole's not even there. He's on Tommy John. So, I mean, it's nice to see that the Mariners are really doing well after just years of that, which is just poopy. It's gross. Gets everywhere too. But I'm happy for them. I'm happy for that fan base. They deserve really good baseball. We're going to go quick break before we close up shop for the day. So, as we said before, this show isn't free. This show ain't free. So time for some ads.
Some moments don't just call for a watch. They call for a statement. Designed for those who seek adventure with style, the Heritage Racer is where vintage inspiration meets modern precision. Every detail is crafted to perform. Scratch-resistant DLC coating, a durable ceramic bezel, and the precision of Seagull mechanical movement. It's ready for any challenge, from boardroom to back road. Engineered for a perfect fit, the Heritage Racer, crafted for the driven.
So yeah, use our promo code at time to BS, the number 2 BS and all caps, for 20% off your order at lawtrain.com. Sick watches over there. Really nice. Really nice. I'm a watch guy. I'm a big watch guy. I love I love all kinds of watches, whether you're leather, wood, steel, plastic. But I am a big watch guy. And I am excited to have this promo code be available for you guys. Time to BS, 20% off your order at lawtrain.com. Now, I will also say, as a Seahawks fan, I am very excited for the future of the club. They did sign Sam Darnold to a de facto 1-year deal. Now, the question here is, you know, the former quarterback being Geno Smith. You know, there are some people at Pro Football Focus that since Geno Smith has joined the Raiders, he's labeled as a top 10, top 15 quarterback. Since Darnold's taken over as the starter in Seattle, he's like 26th. I don't know what it is. I don't know, you know, It's like, hey, is the gap really that big? Or is it just, hey, the Seattle sports landscape isn't really that liked in the NFL circle? Hard to say. Because at the same point, it's freaking May. Calm down, people. We need to lay off this narrative of like, oh, this is how your team's going to be in May. Technically, it's June, but May 24th as we're recording this, but whatever. I don't kink shame. Is the gap between Geno Smith and Sam Darnold that wide open? No. They are borderline the same. I'm not an evaluator of quarterbacks. I will say that Geno Smith is a better runner than Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold, however, can throw the piss out of the football, to quote Adam Gase. That being said, I am very curious to see how the Raiders do with Geno. I'm very curious to know how the Seahawks do with Sam. The Raiders do not look as good of a team as the Seahawks do. But hard to say, because again, it's May. Calm down, people. Christmas. I do have some final thoughts before we close up shop. I'm grateful to keep doing this program. I love doing this show. I love doing the show, whether it's by myself, with Jack, with Matt, John, whatever, Dustin and Kevin over Seahawks sessions. And I will also say this, though. The Staniel Smooth Show, which was the solo podcast, has been retired as well. And am I disappointed to retire the Staniel Smooth character? Nah. As it's grown on me now. Historically, I can be resistant to change, whether it's, people trying to change me or I'm trying to change myself. I can be resistant to change, which is, one of my many flaws of life. However, with that being said, I'm excited to see the future of this program. I love this podcast. I love podcasting in general. And I'm thankful for the lads over Belly Up to help give this show a platform to spread nonsense, mischief, and joy to you all. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that'll do it for this edition of Time to BS Podcast. Be sure to like, follow, subscribe for more content like this, and follow for clips of the show on Instagram and on TikTok as well. Time to BS Podcast on TikTok and Instagram and Twitter as well. Like I say, subscribe and follow for more content. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Staniel Smooth. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Dan Cruz. I'm coming to you from the beaches of lovely Long Island, New York, and I will see you all in this life and most certainly the next one. Cheers, ladies and gentlemen. Have yourselves a good weekend.